What's up, everybody? Welcome back to That BS Guy, your one-stop shop for everything weight loss surgery related. Well, I've been wanting to essentially make this video for a while. I made a similar video when my channel very first started, and my setup was kind of poor and what have you. So I wanted to remake it and add a few things now that I've gone through the process of having bariatric surgery. And regardless of what the type of surgery that you are going to have or you're thinking about having, all of these things I'm about to talk about are fairly universal. So the topic of today is why you might consider bariatric surgery. So I'm going to go over about six different things. Yes, 6 different things that I personally thought of, and then also some feedback from the outside world, from friends and people who have personally messaged me and asked questions and things that you guys may have on the back of your mind as you go through the process of weighing whether or not bariatric surgery, weight loss surgery, is a right choice for you. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So the number one reason why I think most people would really consider weight loss surgery, it's because they can't maintain lower weight, but not from lack of trying. So my personal experience has been, I served in the Army at one point, and I got thin enough to do that, strong enough to do that, but to get to that point, to be able to qualify to get into the Army, mind you, I was still too big for like some of the other branches. But to get down that weight in the Army, I had to work out almost 5 days a week, if not more, for about an hour and a half to 2.5 hours a day, only eat about 1,500 calories a day, watching everything that I ate, and lots of meal prep. Now, let me tell you something. My body type is not the type of body that just naturally metabolizes things easily. Like, I remember going out with my girlfriend in college, and she liked to go to this restaurant called Red Robin. But they had, unlimited fries. They have a lot of Americana type food. Not very healthy food, mind you, unless you're gonna have maybe the salad, the avocado salad or whatever it's called. But point I'm trying to make is that even after that one meal, I would weigh myself and I would gain 5 pounds just from eating that one meal. It was incredible how fast my body packed on weight. Now, a lot of friends of mine back in the day, even now, they when they see pictures of me back then versus what I am now, and they say, wow, I never viewed you as being that big because of, well, my natural body type, being how thick it is, carried that weight fairly well. But I was almost 400 pounds at my heaviest, and it was still very unhealthy. So I would have to work out constantly to try and even just maintain and get low enough. I can't do that. I can't maintain that high-end active lifestyle anymore, and that's what caused me to blow up again. So, if you're like me, for one reason or another, and you cannot maintain yourself, spending that much time in the gym, putting all that money into meal prep, all of those things, and you just want to be able to eat a normal meal and not gain 10, 15 pounds, throughout the week, then, sometimes doing something that will counteract your crap metabolism, like me, like what I had to do, might be a consideration for you. When I went through this process, as I looked at it and I was like, okay, what do I need to do to make it so that I could actually live a normal life? I'm not trying to find a shortcut, okay? That's a common misconception. Weight loss surgery is not a shortcut by any stretch of the imagination, but what it is a means to an end. It's a tool, as most people would say. And am I prepared to utilize this tool in the right way and not abuse this tool? Okay, there's a lot of people mentally who might not be ready for weight loss surgery, and they think that they're just gonna have this surgery, they're not gonna change any habits, and they're still gonna lose weight. That might be true for like a brief period of time right after your surgery, but eventually that's gonna catch up to you again, and you're gonna gain that weight back. And that's not gonna be fun for you. That's not gonna end up a good situation all around, and it's gonna be an ultimate waste of time, effort, and money, okay? So keep that in consideration. But if you are a person that was like me and saying, dang, my body puts on weight like a freaking nuclear winter, built for nuclear winter, as I used to say. This might be a path you want to take. It really might be, because there's no easy way to say, oh my gosh, I want to have the entire internal structure of myself changed. All right. And have that be low impact. No, everything you do when you go the surgery route is going to be high impact to a certain extent, depending on the level of the surgery that you're getting. So bear that in mind. The number 2 reason, which I would say arguably could be also number 1, better healthy life / longer life. When you are morbidly obese, it puts a lot of stress on your heart, puts a lot of stress on your joints. You're at a higher risk for diabetes and other ailments such as sleep apnea. And just with the recent viral outbreak, I'll just say it that way. Anybody with respiratory issues seems to be at a higher risk. So having sleep apnea would be a problem in terms of being able to not be as vulnerable to certain types of diseases and to extend your life. There's a lot of, I remember a comedian named Ralphie May, a lot of his jokes were about him being a really big person, and what ended up happening to him, he ended up dying of a heart attack. I love my fellow biggins out there, my big peeps. I love you. You're great. I was right there with you. I had my big person card. In fact, I still do to a certain extent. But the point I'm trying to make is that there's a cost, right, to being that way. And is that cost worth potentially dying very young? Okay? For me, I want to live my life to my fullest. I want to get out there and see the world. I don't want to have my energy levels be so low. I can tell you right now, just from after having bariatric surgery and losing 160 pounds, the amount of energy that I have because I'm not packing 160 extra pounds of weight that I have to carry around with me every single day, every single minute, every single second, it's tremendous. You would think that I have less energy because I'm eating less food, but I don't need more food to have more energy because it takes less energy for me to operate right now. Less calories, that is. So I'm excited, I'm ecstatic, I'm really, really happy about that. And I'm also happy that I possibly could be now extending my life. I think that I'm gonna live a little longer than I probably would have had I continued to weigh 400 pounds. And if you're sitting there going, man, I wanna, if you have kids, you wanna make sure, you wanna see them have grandkids or have kids so you have grandkids, or if you just wanna live long and happy, that might also be something you consider. Love life. So love life improvements. Whether you've been married or if you're single, there's always something that can be benefited from on that level. When you lose weight and you have that extra energy, there could be some more interesting and fun times in the bedroom, or on the flip side, you might get the attention of a special someone who might not have paid you attention before because you look healthier. Now, granted, something that might be a little shallow, but let's be real here, okay? I think no one goes into weight loss surgery thinking that there's no aesthetic benefit to losing weight. I think we want to look healthier, therefore look a little bit more attractive, put more effort into ourselves. It's funny when I look at the forums sometimes on some of these support groups and things like that, and you see the before picture of someone going into surgery. They had scraggly facial hair, their hair is all disheveled, and that may be just because they're going under surgery. But even some of the before shots, some people took care of themselves, makeup and did their hair, and guys would have some trimmed beard. I kept my beard pretty trimmed, just like it is now. But I will say, hands down, the effort that people put in after the fact is way more than what they put in before, because they're taking pride in themselves. They're taking pride in what they now look like and what they are now becoming. And they're finally getting to exhibit that. The styles that which they wear, the clothing. I see men wearing tighter clothes, skinnier jeans, vests even. I see women putting on dresses and wearing swimsuits that they would never even dare to wear. And it's amazing. That feeling of being confident in yourself and being able to be body positive about yourself, that's a tremendous thing. So yes, it can affect your love life, but it brings it to number 4, the 4th reason, self-esteem. You're taking pride in what you are. You're taking pride in who you are becoming and not being ashamed. There were so many times where I remember walking into, whether it be a restaurant, a party, a bar, any type of public situation, I would look around and go, am I the fattest person here? Am I going to stick out? Am I going to be the biggest person in this room? Is that the reason why people are going to remember me? And I hated that feeling. I hated that feeling that I was just this big guy that walking in a room and people would pay attention to me. Granted, it was nice to have people pay attention to me in certain respect, but I got the wrong kind of attention. Okay? And I don't know, maybe it was just me, but if anybody's watching this and you're thinking, man, I've had those exact same feelings, I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. It's amazing to me to think that I went so long without having that really, that being comfortable in public. Everything that I had to do was like a show in a way to overcome my physical limitations, because I knew that I wasn't as pretty or as aesthetically pleasing as some of my friends. And so I really had to kind of go 2 or 3 notches above and being extra friendly and tolerating behaviors from other people just to feel like they would like me. And now I'm not saying I'm mean or anything like that, but I can relax. I can go into a place and not feel like I'm sticking out, or one of the worst feelings I ever had is I was lucky enough to go out with one of my girlfriends. It wasn't even a date, but people were staring at us like it was. And she's a pretty attractive girl. And I was like, man, everybody's wondering why the heck this girl is hanging out with me. That's a horrible feeling. I mean, it's horrible. And now I wouldn't feel that way. I'm not saying that I'm pretty or super duper handsome. I'm no Chris Hemsworth or anything like that. But what I am saying is that I can take pride in what I do have now, and I'm not afraid, I'm not ashamed of what I bring to the table. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy to be normal. I'm not asking to be better or stronger or bigger or more chisel or anything like that. I'm just asking to be normal. I want to just live my life the way I kind of want to live it. And if you're sitting out there going, maybe bariatric surgery or weight loss surgery is the way for me to feel that way, yes, that's exactly one of the reasons why I went through it. Number 5, in our area, we call these non-scale related victories. And these victories are for things that, are not necessarily pound related, but they do have an effect. They make you feel really good. So smaller things like going camping and not having to be dependent on a outlet for your nighttime survival if you have sleep apnea, because a lot of times, like myself, when I had sleep apnea, when I lost that weight, I didn't need my CPAP anymore. So I can sleep anywhere and not be afraid that I'm going to choke and die in my sleep, which is great. So now I can go camping or be away from that and it'd be fine. Going on flights, I flew for work a lot while flying was still a thing. And, I hated getting on a plane and asking for a seatbelt extender. In fact, I even went as far as buying myself a seatbelt extender, so I didn't need to actually ask for one. I just kept one in my pocket and then attached it when I sat down. But now I don't need one. Every seat that I've ever sat in from this point forward, I've had extra room on my seatbelt, and I don't have to worry about if I fit in the seat. And that's such a wonderful feeling. On top of that, if someone has to sit next to me, they're not giving me one of these. Before they sit down. That was a weird feeling. No one ever really said anything, but you knew what they were thinking. You knew, and I knew, but everybody knows. But yeah, they think it, we know it. So I don't like that feeling. I don't like to feel like I'm burdening someone else because I ate hamburgers or whatever. Amusement park rides. I remember going to Disneyland and Universal Studios I went to the Harry Potter experience, and I wanted to go on the Hogwarts ride. And they had this thing out front where you got to sit in it and see if the thing would latch. And it wouldn't, because it was a top-down thing, and my big old gut prevented it from latching. And they're like, sorry, you can walk through and go to the exit and see all the pretty stuff, but you won't be able to get on the ride. And I'm just like, that's embarrassing. Like, who wants to walk all the way through the waiting exhibit just to see all that stuff? Mind you, it probably would have been really cool, but who wants to just walk through and not get on the ride? Come on, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we want to do when we get there. I'm still so frustrated that I did not get to go on that ride. Oh, sorry, just bitter. 1 minute. And then, like I said earlier, self-esteem improvements by doing those things. Like the feeling that you get when you click that seat belt, or you get to go camping, or you get to sleep on your friend's couch and not have to worry about any of these other intangibles, or worrying about someone seeing you with your sleeping mask on. That's kind of embarrassing if someone's just a random person or a party guest or something like that. Not fun. Or, I would just say that if you're of the single variety, if you got lucky enough to bring home a night guest, and they don't know you use a CPAP machine, and it's not serious enough to really have had that discussion, what do you do? Do you chance not waking up or snoring really loud because of it, or not breathing and scaring the crap out of them? Or do you put it on and have them potentially be turned off because of it? It's a hard thing to do, right? So I'm just saying, not having to worry about those things on my end it's such a relief. The amount of things that go through my mind in regard to just living a normal life, it's tremendous. It's absolutely tremendous on how much better I feel in regard to how I'm seeing my life right now and how I'm experiencing my life right now. Even during all this shutdowns and all the stuff that's going around in 2020, I'm still living my best life because of the decision I made last year. And it's a tremendous thing. The other thing, the last thing, number 6, that I would say that if you're sitting there wondering about weight loss surgery is not having the surgery ultimately better? And what I mean by that is, are you just lazy? And I don't mean that negatively. I'm not trying to call you out, person who's watching this video. But what I'm saying by that is the reason why you're big is because you really haven't put that full effort into your weight loss. You haven't pushed yourself to lose that weight just yet. If it's you just sitting on it, for lack of a better word, then that's a problem. That's on you. That's something that you need to take control of. You could probably lose a good chunk of that weight naturally. And if you're not having the same kind of issues that I had in the very first thing, where you do have that effort and you do push yourself and you do lose weight, but the thing is, your body's just not keeping it off. That's a whole other thing, right? But if you're not even getting that starting point yet, you may not be either mentally ready to have weight loss surgery, or B, even if you do, you might sink back into your old habits and it won't be effective at all. So my whole take on this, folks, is that if you can lose your weight naturally and keep it off naturally in a way that works for you and your lifestyle without completely consuming it, okay, you don't need to become a fitness Instagram model or anything like that. But if it doesn't consume your entire being to maintain your weight, then you should definitely do it naturally and without any surgical help. But if you've already tried, maybe several times like I did, and every single time you end up getting big again as soon as you stop, then weight loss surgery might be the best solution for you. At least it was for me. And the type of weight loss surgery also should be taken into consideration. Is the sleeve the best? Is duodenal switch, like what I had, the best? Is the traditional Roux-en-Y gastric bypass the best? Okay, those are some questions that you might want to ask yourself as you're evaluating this process. It's not an easy decision, mind you, but at the end of the day, I make videos like this. I have this channel to help you even think about these questions, to analyze where you think you might want to go with it, and how it might impact you, because none of this should be determined whimsically or just off the cuff. Please make sure to always consult your physician before you make any type of drastic weight loss decision making. I am not a doctor. I'm not trying to give you any medical advice. This is just me talking about what I think, and you can take it with a grain of salt. But if you're really contemplating this, make sure you consult your physician first, and take it from there. Because I can tell you right now, I definitely had a few different conversations with a few different doctors, and every single one of them was like, yeah, at this point, we think weight loss surgery is probably going to be the way to go. Okay? So it wasn't me just whimsically deciding to do this. It was a lot of planning and some consultation in order to get those steps going. And so I knew that my decision to have this surgery was backed by healthcare professionals. How I did it was differently, and I'll get to that in just a second, but it was 100% backed by my physicians. So before I let y'all go, I just want to say thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it was slightly entertaining and or enlightening, or any combination of the above. If you have not liked and subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Helps with the algorithms to kind of spread this out. We're almost at 300 subscribers. I'm really hoping that I can get there this week. And then once we get to 1,000 subscribers, that's when things start to get kind of cool. So I really want to get up to that point, but it takes you guys hitting that subscribe button to really help me out. And lastly, and sure not least, if you are going to go down the weight loss surgery route, I do have a partnership through Mexico Bariatric Center. They do not pay me for any of these things. I've actually negotiated with them to give you, my subscribers, a discount off of your bariatric surgery or your weight loss surgery if you choose to go through their program. The website's right above me here and in the description down there. All you do is submit your name and your information, and they will have a liaison reach out directly to you and start the process. There's no obligation, mind you, but if you feel like if you don't have insurance that covers surgery, or if you're looking for a cheaper option in general, or you want a specific surgery that might not be available in your specific area, this would probably be the best route to go in my opinion. They treated me really well. It was safe. And if you want to take a look at the review that I had, it's also in the description down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching the video, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye-bye.